welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here then welcome. I hope you're all good. Hope you've all got a brew in hand because I have. As you've all probably guessed by the title of this video, this is going to be an insight into how we did our DIY IKEA Packs Hacks wardrobe with lots of clips, lots of tips, and also a bit of a wardrobe tour as well. Now that it's pretty much, I'd say 95% finished. It's not completely finished because we've still got some decisions to make, still got some like dressing of the room to do if you like. Not all of our clothes are away because a lot of them are in the wash, so when it comes to the wardrobe tour it's not completely full just yet. But yeah, like I say, 95% done. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna get it out there, get it up there, because so many people are asking to see how we did it, how they're looking, and what I would or wouldn't do again and stuff like that. So I just thought, right, let's just film the video even though the room's not completely finished. When I say lots of you are asking, obviously I've shown sneak peeks on my Instagram. For anyone new here, I will pop my Instagram handles on screen here because I've got my personal account, which I do share the odd bits of the home on there, but we do have a home account as well, Sanders Sanctuary, where all of the updates and everything are going on there, lots of stories. So yeah, if you're interested, then go and follow my account and my home account as well, although there will be lots of updates here on YouTube too. Anyway, yeah, I've had so many questions. If you don't know, I feel like so many people are just going to be here because it's a DIY IKEA Packs Hacks wardrobes video and they're so popular at the minute, and I feel like a lot of you would have just searched for that on YouTube. To give you a brief overview, my boyfriend and I, we moved into a new build property back in December, just before Christmas, and obviously now we are getting things ready, we are decorating things, styling rooms, so there's a lot of home content on my channel at the minute. But one of the things that we've just recently done, well, a couple of weeks ago now, is the wardrobe room. I guess you can call it a walk-in wardrobe room because we have used, so we have 4 bedrooms in our house. Obviously the biggest one is our main bedroom. We've used the second biggest bedroom as the wardrobe room, which is what I'm sat in now currently. That's basically a little lowdown. We have put IKEA Packs wardrobes in this room, but we have made them look a lot more bespoke and a lot more built in than if they were just the flat pack furniture alone. So I'm going to be talking you through exactly how we've done that. I've got loads of clips of how it was done, and then yeah, I'm going to show you around a little bit, show you like what we've got on the inside of our wardrobes, because if you don't know already, you can go onto IKEA, you can design your wardrobes completely from scratch. You just measure up your room and then you can just put in different size units, different shelves, all the different internals, doors, no doors, change the handles, literally design it however you want it. Now I'm very lucky because my brother is a shit hot joiner. He's a highly skilled joiner. It was teamwork though, because I'm from a family of tradesmen. That means I'm quite hands-on myself because I have involuntarily basically been a labourer my whole life. So yeah, my brother and I did this room together, which is great. Now, my brother being a joiner, he does stuff like this from scratch, wardrobes out of like veneered MDF, which is like the like woody style, kind of like coated MDF if you like, which looks really nice. However, there's a couple of reasons why we didn't opt for that. One, time was of the essence because we only had Josh here for 4 days, and the whole bespoke thing would have meant him coming in and measuring up and then having to cut everything, having to source the materials, and it would have been a much longer process, probably like 2-3 weeks, maybe even a month. So that was the first thing. We needed a quick solution. Charlie and I, my boyfriend and I, have a lot of clothes, and this is why this is one of the first rooms to be completed, because we really needed the storage ASAP. And secondly, the cost of wood has gone up so much that doing it this way, it was a lot more cost effective. So if you're on a bit more of a budget, even though I won't really say they're budget, because obviously by the time you add in like other bits of materials, which I'll come back to, they actually look amazing. Like I wouldn't say, oh, they're like budget wardrobes essentially. Obviously a lot more budget than if you are having them made bespoke from scratch for the space that you've got. But yeah, like I said, we priced it up, and the cost of wood at the minute, like the veneered MDF that we would have wanted, is just crazy, and it was probably half the price to do it this way. So that's just a little heads up in case you're and an R in between the two like we were. So yeah, that's what we decided to do. So I built the wardrobes on like the IKEA designer, it all got delivered, then my brother got here and he basically was like, right, to make these look built in and look bespoke, this is what we're going to do, which obviously I'm going to talk you through and I'm going to show you. First thing we did was go to the builders merchants, and the first bit of wood we bought was 3x2 timber, and that is because we built a frame, a base for the wardrobes to sit on. Now the IKEA wardrobes come in different heights. I think it's 201 and 236. Our ceilings are 2.4 high, so we could have got away with the 236, but we went for the 201 just so we had more room to play with the timber at the bottom, and then if we decided to build them in at the top as well, it was just allowing us more room. So the frame, the base, came to the top of the skirting board that is already in the room, and that is because we've matched the skirting board along the front of the wardrobes to make them look built in, which I will show you. But yeah, we did that first, and then we made little legs as well, obviously for it to rest on. Now we decided to cut into the carpet. Not everybody's going to want to do that. The reason why we did it is because the carpet that we've got in here is quite spongy. We actually paid for an upgraded carpet, like the best one that we could get from obviously the builders when we bought the house, which is just so funny that we've now gone and cut into it and there's like patches in it all under the wardrobes. But yeah, we made the little legs. Now the reason why my brother suggested putting them down onto like the base of the floor and cutting into the carpet instead of putting them on top of the carpet is because eventually, even though it might sit level at first, the carpet will, because it's quite spongy, sink in and out at different like times on the different like legs. So we didn't want the wardrobes over time to become uneven, which obviously then would have a knock-on effect with kind of everything that's going on, how they're all attached together and everything on the inside, and we just didn't want to risk that. So when I say we, I made that decision. So we cut into the carpet, and I've obviously put it onto like the base of the actual floor of the room. So yeah, straight away the wardrobes are level and they've never got any chance of seeping in or anything and making them unlevel. So I think the only thing I would do if we were ever debating getting rid of this room is not do that. But this is always going to be our wardrobe room, well, as long as we're here, because obviously if we were to take all of these out now, we would have those holes cut out in the carpet. So it's just personal preference on whether you want them to be just proper solid, proper level, and you're sure that you're going to keep them as wardrobe rooms, or whether you're thinking, oh, we might actually need it for like a baby room or like a guest bedroom eventually. Obviously we've got 2 other rooms to play with. So yeah, we cut into the carpet, made little legs, and then the base sat level. Obviously drilled it into the skirting board, drilled the wood together, and then you can see in the frame the joins that we've made go where the wardrobe ends sit once they've been put on top of the frame, if that makes sense, just so that where the wardrobes actually join together, the wood is supporting where the tiny little gap is, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what we did first, and then we built the units and we put all the units on. That was obviously, flat pack furniture is a bit annoying, isn't it? But it's just IKEA stuff. It's dead easy to do, dead easy to follow. And then as we were going along, we were just drilling them together like bit by bit, so that obviously they were not only drilled to the base, drilled to the wall, but also drilled together. So there is literally, it's so solid, like it literally feels like it is a built-in wardrobe. Then we boxed in the wardrobes. Now I was going to completely box the wardrobes in. Again, I'll show you this properly in more detail when I take you around with the camera, but I was going to completely box the wardrobes in. We've decided it's kind of like, are we going to do it, are we not at the minute? So we've boxed in certain areas down smaller gaps, which I will show you. There's one bigger gap that we've left, again, which I will show you, and also around the top we were going to completely box them in. I'm not sure yet whether we're going to do that or whether the use of the space above the wardrobes will be super handy for things like baskets, extra storage, hand luggage suitcases, or whether we could even come up with some solution when my brother comes back to do some further work of like lift up like glass doors or something to go on top. I don't know, but I will show you the space that we're working with. So yeah, we added MDF down the sides of some of the wardrobe. Once we boxed the wardrobes in, that's when we added the skirting board. Now I was lucky that I was able to find the skirting board that was already in the house, the one that they use. So all skirting boards tend to have like a little pattern or a groove, and they all tend to have like a style name or a style number. I literally just asked one of the guys who was fitting it on another house, like, oh, do you know what it is? Do you know where it's from? Googled it with the details he gave me, and we managed to get hold of some. So once that was done, then we were able to pop the matching skirting boards on. And obviously painted the MDF in matte emulsion, which is obviously what's on the walls, a white matte emulsion. And then the skirting board that we've put in front of the wardrobe, like against the frame, we have glossed with obviously a similar gloss to what was already here. Gloss isn't really my preference for woodwork, but it's all over the house, so there was no point trying to just make one room like matte or anything. So yeah, we glossed the skirting boards and then we popped the doors on. Now I think that's one of the biggest things when it comes to this IKEA Pax hack, is people are like, do I get doors? Do I don't get doors? Do do I not get doors, whatever. That was my biggest debate, because obviously fashion is a huge part of my job, and I have a lot of clothes for creating content, and an open wardrobe looks great for the majority of people. However, my clothes aren't all neutral. I wear a lot of oversized stuff, so a lot of it's like big and doesn't sit neat in the wardrobe, and I've got Charlie's clothes which are all absolutely huge. And not only that, like, as much as I love things to look great and essentially aesthetically pleasing, for me practicality beats anything. Like, it has to be practical, because I just feel like houses can look great, but if they don't work for you in the way you live, then it's just a nightmare. And I know for a fact that me and Charlie are so in and out of this house that it's never always going to look neat unless there's doors on it, and we can just close the door until we come back to tidy it up. So that kind of made the decision. Now obviously it's an added expense because the doors are however much each on IKEA, so it's a lot cheaper if you do it without doors, obviously, but I just think, personal preference, it looks so much better with doors on. It's a nice bright space rather than just having a lot of colour, a lot of chaos, you know, things annoying me, because it would just get on my nerves, I could just imagine it. And not only that, the dust, the clothes aren't getting dusty, because obviously when wardrobes are open they do tend to collect dust and stuff. So that was our decision made. So then we popped the doors on. Now we were all just going to go for all white doors, but because of the size units that we've got in, there are a couple of like little mirrored strips that you can see here, and then the other unit over there, which obviously I'll show you, has got a couple of mirrored doors on it. That is one of my tips. Like, if you've got a room that you're wardrobing out like this one, get the mirrored doors. Like, honestly, it's saved us having to put an additional like Lena mirror in here or something. And even though we've only got like one bigger door and then we've got 3 of the like smaller panels in the mirror, it's opened the room out so much. It just makes it feel bigger, and obviously you're losing quite a lot of the space by adding the wardrobes in. So yeah, it's made it feel really, really big having the mirrored doors. So I really, really recommend them if you're like designing it. But yeah, we were actually just going to go all white, but because of the size of the units that we've got, the only option was to add in like the smaller, narrower doors, which I'll show you, onto some bits of it, and they only come in the mirrored style. So I was like, do you know what, let's just go for it. Like, I feel like it will look good, and oh my god, what an amazing decision. These are the white doors that we've gone for. Obviously this style, they've got so many different styles and different colours. Now when it comes to handles, I had actually ordered with the wardrobes some handles from IKEA. Again, so much choice on there when it comes to handles. I'd ordered some gold ones. I think they were about that big. But when they came, they were really shiny and like a plasticky gold, and they just didn't feel the best, and I just felt like I'm just going to put them on for the sake of it and I'm not going to like them. I decided to go and get some additional handles, and I got these from B&Q, and these are from like their kitcheny section, and they're like a brushed gold, which goes with the theme of the house more, and these are almost identical to the ones that we've got in our kitchen downstairs. If you aren't enjoying any of the handles on the IKEA website, if you don't think any of them look nice, don't add them to your basket. You can literally go and get them from like B&Q, Dunelm, so many places, because obviously then I had a load of IKEA handles which now I'm not using, so bit of a waste of money. But yeah, I got these from B&Q. A lot of people have been asking about these, and yeah, really, really love how they look, and they're a lot more weighty and like sturdy than the IKEA ones as well. So they just feel a lot more expensive, again just going with the whole like bespoke theme of the wardrobes. Another thing we did as well was we cut out, so behind a couple of these wardrobes there is sockets in the room. There's one that a wardrobe isn't in front of, but where there is a socket covered, I think here and maybe there, we used a multi-tool to cut out the back, because the back of IKEA wardrobes are a very thin, almost like chipboard material, really, really easy to cut into. Sorry, my dog's snoring. Really easy to cut into. So we literally popped the unit on the wall, measured out where it was going to be rough, and then cut out. One, it makes them sit flush to the wall, so they're not slightly sat in front of the socket, and 2, even though the socket is in the wardrobe, I'll show you when I show you that part of the wardrobe, it means that you have got access to that socket for electricity if you do need it. So yeah, just definitely worth doing that. So there's another tip as well. So those are like my 2 top tips and things that I'm really, really glad that we did, is the mirrored doors dotted around, and also getting doors, and also cutting out the socket holes that are against the wall with a multi-tool. And yeah, just building them in has just made all the difference. Like, it literally feels so bespoke, so like they were just someone's come in here and made them from scratch for the room. Anyway, let me show you around, show you a bit of a closer look at the details and stuff when I say like how we did everything, and then show you how the actual inside of the wardrobes are looking and where we have got everything. So this is the room, this is the wardrobe room. There is Bumper just chilling. Now that chair looks really random and out of place when you walk in from this way, but once you step into the room and look at the wardrobes, as you should, it looks absolutely fine. But we'll come back to that little section in a second because I'm just going to explain a bit about that afterwards. So this is our wardrobe room. Ignore my cup of tea on the windowsill. Now, as you can see, this is where our biggest unit is, our corner unit. Still haven't got a light shade. This is what I mean by 95% finished. But honestly, the way this has turned out, we couldn't be happier with. Now, this is obviously how it's looking. This is the skirting board. As you can see, that matches up with the skirting board that was already in the house, which is great. And it just looks so good. There's a couple of little things like, I might add a bit more decorator's cork there because it seems to have just seeped a little bit. So just a couple of little things, loose ends just to tie together, nothing crazy. And then see what I mean, because obviously this unit is like a funny size and then this unit is here. This is where it was automatically adding in these mirrored panels, which just make it look so much bigger, so much brighter. It reflects things off of each other, so the room looks deeper in a way. And then this is this side. Now the reason why there is a random chair there, by the way, this chair is so gorgeous, such good quality. It's from Next Home. It was 250 quid, which for the sturdiness and the quality of it is crazy. We went for the lime wash colour. They do it in like a darker oak colour, and then obviously it's got the rattan back. And it's just like a little accent chair, a little feature chair. Now we went for the lighter colour because this room is so zen and so bright that we didn't want to add any darker wood colours in here because we've got quite a lot throughout the rest of the house. But yeah, this chair, there was actually supposed to be a third wardrobe unit. So there's obviously one, which I'll come back to. The second one is this big one here. And then we were going to have another, I think it was a 75 or a 100. I'm not really sure there. However, when I actually got it here and built it and realised how far it came out, it was literally like to there. The walkthrough of the wardrobe room would have been absolutely tiny, which for me wouldn't have been too bad because by the time you walk through and then get in, the space would have felt really big. But for Charlie, who's 6'4", I just don't think it would have worked. So we decided to keep this unit anyway. We've put it in another room, which I will show you. But yeah, that's the reason why there's a little accent chair there, because I thought it was the perfect opportunity to put one in because one, it's somewhere to sit when you're like putting your socks on and stuff. Sometimes I sit and edit there. And yeah, just planning outfits, like laying out my gym stuff in the morning, it can all go on there. And it just kind of finishes the room off nicely, and it's just handy for me to sit there and film sometimes too. And then this unit is kind of like in a little alcove, as you can see. Now that is the only bit that we haven't got a door on, and I just wanted one bit to be open purely for my bags that are like my more expensive bags. Not only that, but ones that I use every day and need to grab quickly, and also just for a couple accessories like vases, candles, ornaments, stuff like that. So I just kept the end bit open, just a little shelf bit. If I ever feel like I want to add a door onto it, obviously I can do, because you can just buy like random bits of the Pax wardrobes. But for now, I feel like it looks really, really cute, and I've just got things on display. This thing here is a letter rack that I've literally had for years. Brought it from Wales with me when I moved, and I have like a lot of like clutch baggy type things, and it is the perfect thing to stand them all up. Like, what an absolute hack that is. Now you'll notice these little plasticky screw hole fillers. I think IKEA sell them, but I bought them in bulk off of Amazon myself, and I've done this one mainly because this one's open and obviously on display. A few of the others I've started dotting them around in, but I haven't got around to finishing them all yet. I do prefer how they look with the holes filled in. So that's why I've decided to do it. And then here is where we've like drilled it into the MDF. So that just needed like a bigger screw hole sticker. Again, got those all off Amazon. Down here, IKEA has some very ugly like washer type screws, which again, I've covered with the screw stickers, and I've just got a hold all down there. Again, these are bags that I use quite a lot, so just need quick access to. If it becomes impractical and I need the space where those ornaments are and the vase and stuff, then I'll just move them. Like, it really doesn't bother me about the space looking like too pretty or anything, because I'd rather, like I say, the practicality of it. So if I do need those shelves at some point, they can just get moved. So you can see here, obviously this is the skirting board that we've added ourselves. There's the skirting board that was already in the house, so we got the exact pattern match, primed it, glossed it, and then the MDF is down the sides here. And honestly, you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know that that was MDF. Sorry, bumper, did that disturb you? It looks so good. Obviously just painted in matte emulsion, like the walls were as well. Sorry, that sun is a bit annoying, isn't it? There we go, you can kind of see it there. It just looks really good. And then, like I say, we were gonna also fill in the MDF at the top, but because it's ended up being quite a big space, I just don't know if filling that in and not making use of the space is just incredibly impractical. It would look good, but then the only other thing I think is the room's quite an open, spacious, big room. If we were to box it in at the top there and obviously at the top there, would it make it feel like too enclosed? I know that's so weird because it's a tiny gap at the top of a wardrobe, but does it make the space feel more open? Like that's the conversation I'm having with myself in my head at the minute while I make a decision. But yeah, like I said, maybe we can find a solution where it's like lift up doors. So yeah, this is how it's looking and I'm just so happy with it, to be honest. There is another bit here, a gap that again, we could have definitely boxed in with MDF and then obviously taken this skirt and board rather than taking it to there, and then obviously we've taken it down the side, we would have just skirted all the way across. But this space is so handy for like my tripods, my filming lights, because I've got quite a lot of them and they all just lean in there so neatly, and also like the upstairs hoover and stuff like that, it all just slots down the side there. So I just don't know again if that's a bit of space that I would be wasting. So we will see, we'll see how we get on, see if we need the room, and then obviously we can make a decision because my brother is coming back to do some more work, so he can then box it in if needs be once we've made that decision. So what we've put inside the wardrobe, so here is one of Charlie's sections. We share this room, by the way, this isn't all mine, this is both of our clothes in here. So Charlie's tees are up here, so this is a hanging rail. And then down here we've got a pull-out rail thing. As you can see, one of the sockets that's cut at the back there, that we cut out of the back with the multi-tool. And then we have these pull-out baskets, which are so good because they're like a mesh. The clothes don't fall down the gaps because the gaps in the basket is so small. So in there is just Charlie's football and his work stuff. So that's kind of his section. You can actually put little pulley handles on here. They come with the doors, but just because they're silver and obviously we've gone for a gold handle, I didn't think it looked right. So it's just a case of opening that side first and then opening that side. And then this section here is pretty much all of mine. So I have got my blazers and my lighter jackets in here. Our bigger jackets and coats are kept somewhere else, which I will show you. But on this rail here, I've got like denim jackets, a couple of like my lighter leather jackets, and then blazers, mainly all blazers. We've got this glass shelf here, purely just to stop this bit from getting dusty, because in this pull-out tray, which is probably one of the most amazing things that has ever come into my life, is all of our jewellery, sunglasses, because I've got a lot of those, and then watches as well. Hopefully my main baby is back from its repair soon. But yeah, this pull-out tray is so handy, like all my earrings and rings, just so good for storage. Like obviously it doesn't have to be jewellery, like we've got pretty much sunglasses in here mainly, but it could store so many things. Like it's so handy. Obviously you don't have to put the glass shelf above it, but I just put it there in the design just to stop any of it from getting dusty. These drawers is Charlie's underwear, then my underwear, so I won't show you in there too much, but I've got it all organised into like these little drawer dividers, like all of our socks and knickers and boxers all separated. In this third drawer down is so these are like my little tops on the left, which are like vest tops that you can't really hang. And then this section here, again in these drawer dividers, is my shorts, like denim shorts, cycling shorts, sporty shorts, cotton shorts, basically all of my shorts. And then this bottom basket here is basically a bigger version of what I just showed you to the left. And this has got all of our pajamas in it. Just like a really easy basket to go in and out of. Obviously it doesn't really stay very neat in here because you're in and out of it every night, but yeah, that's just got all of our nightwear in there. Again, you can see I've started to fill in the plug holes here, but I've not gone all the way back yet, and also some more of the stickers that I got off Amazon down here too. We actually had to cut out another hole for the bracket with the multi-tool because on the left hand side opening wardrobe doors from IKEA, they sit slightly higher than on the right hand side ones. I have no idea why, but it's something we noticed as we were going along. Then we'd already put the shelf in, and then we were like, oh god, if we put the bracket in where it's supposed to be in, it's not going to let us go into that hole because the shelf is sitting too close to it. So rather than taking all of this out, we literally just mimicked that hole a little bit higher. So again, that section is my stuff. As for this corner section, I'll show you how the door works. I've given myself the corner section purely because I don't trust Charlie to like not break the mechanism of this door, because obviously you have to open one before the other, close one before the other, and he's just a lot more impatient than me. So this door obviously opens as normal. Now in here we've got some shelves, which I'll show you in a second, and then this door, which you stick a little plastic lip on that comes with it. It literally is like an adhesive at the back. Stick that on there and that just covers the gap that would show. So yeah, in here we've just got some baskets. So in this lower baskets there's like beanie hats, scarves, just stuff like that. We've got a little basket there of our dust bags for like our expensive trainers and expensive bags. We just like to keep the dust bags in case we travel with them. We just grab them out of there. And then we have got a basket of our swimwear. Don't really have much swimwear, so it's just a really nice place, nice convenient place to keep it. And then in here is my bags that I don't use as often. So like some crossbody bags, some handbags that I don't have out on display there because, like I say, I don't use them as often, so they're just kept in here. And we've got a couple of shelves just with our caps on, my caps, Charlie's caps, God knows where the rest of them are, a few of them are missing. And then we've just got an empty shelf. One thing you will notice about these wardrobes when I'm going around showing you is that there's a lot of space, there's a lot of room still in them. They aren't jam-packed, and that's exactly what we wanted, because I just feel like I need to be able to move the clothes around, you know, like left to right, like them not be like overfilled, because I don't know, it's just impractical. Again, coming back to practicality, there's a lot of space in these wardrobes, so it's not like I'm gonna rush to fill them. And then this is like the main bit of my clothes in this big section here. So on this bottom section is obviously all of my bottoms, from like cargos to leather trousers to like my jeans, different coloured jeans, all that kind of stuff. So all of my stuff are on these cream hangers with the gold metal bit here. Sorry if you can hear beeping outside. We are literally living on a building site, guys. I picked all of my hangers up from TK Maxx just randomly. So I got these cream ones in there, and then Charlie's are on the black hangers. And then up here, I've got the majority of my tops. So anything from like little tops and bodysuits that I don't want to roll or fold. And then all of my t-shirts, which is basically all that I live in, some long sleeve shirts and stuff, and then some knitwear at the back there. But my sweatshirts and hoodies, which I have quite a lot of, and joggers and stuff, they're kept in another wardrobe in another room, which I will show you. But yeah, again, eventually all of these holes will be filled in with those plugs. But yeah, so much room in this corner unit. It's so handy. Obviously these could be used for shoes or however you want to use them. And then the last bit of this corner section wardrobe is mine, well, our sportswear. Charlie's got the little basket at the bottom. I have a lot more sportswear than him because normally whenever he trains, he's in like his football stuff, which is obviously kept somewhere different, but this is just like the gym stuff that he does have. And then for me, yes, a whole section of the wardrobe for gym wear, but this is what I've always dreamed of. It's just my little bit of luxury. All of like, not just my gym leggings, but like my everyday leggings are on this end one here, and then the rest of them are like my gym leggings and my shorts, again on one of these pull out things. So this setup in here, the basket, the pull out and the rail, mirrors what's in the end one, the first one that I showed you of Charlie's stuff. And then yeah, all of my sports bras hanging up here. I've just had my sports bras kept in like drawers and stuff for years, and I'm so sick of the pads going a funny shape. So I was like, when we get new wardrobes, all of my gym stuff is being hung up in a nice manner. Oh, you're awake now. You've joined us for the tour, have you? So yeah, this end one is all of my gym stuff, which honestly brings me so much happiness. And you can see the size of these little mirrored panels now that it's open. But yeah, even without the handle, once you've got this first door open, you can just access it fully. As for this one here next to my bags and stuff, this is full of Charlie's stuff again. Really good that he's got this wardrobe, because obviously there's no handles on these, so you have to reach up. I mean, I'm quite tall anyway, but he's even taller, so it's better for him. And yeah, in here is Charlie's sweaters and hoodies and his chunky stuff. Try to keep it color coordinated from light to dark, as you can see as you're going along, but will Charlie keep it this way with his tees and his sweaters and stuff? I don't think he will. And then at the bottom here we've got his shorts on the left, just like his cargo shorts, not like his chill shorts, and then some trousers and jeans here, whereas in the wardrobe behind me it's more like his cargo-y casual stuff. That's how we are looking in here. Now the unit that I mentioned, oh, there we go. The unit that I mentioned that we were going to put here and then decided to put it in another room, I will go and show you now, because that is fitted into one of the guest bedrooms so nicely. I won't show you the rest of this room because it's an absolute mess, and there's a mattress on the floor where my brother was sleeping, but this is a little alcove in here. The rooms in this house have all got like alcoves. It's really weird, but was really great for us because we were able to put the wardrobes into them without losing too much of the space. So as you can see, the bespoke fittedness of like the MDF and building the frame and putting the matching skirting board boards on looks great in here because it really does look like it's just fitted into the wall. Again, if we're going to box in anywhere above the wardrobes, we're definitely going to do it in here. I don't feel like we're going to need access to that space, and I'd rather it all look flush to the wall. So yeah, we'll definitely box that in the next time Josh is here. But yeah, it just turned out so well. And in this end one, we've just got some of Charlie's stuff that isn't really sweaters or t-shirts, more like his shirts and stuff, and slightly more dressier tops, if that makes sense. And then at the bottom, I just got loads of extra hangers, obviously because we have clothes in and out. I feel like you can never have enough, so we just got the black ones and the grey ones which Charlie's stuff is on, and then the cream ones are what my stuff is on. And then in here is lots of my hoodies are in the wash, by the way, so this doesn't actually look as full as it normally does. But again, the cream hangers with the gold, my hoodies and my chunkier knitwear, and also my fleeces and stuff like that. And then at the bottom we've got my joggers, so it's kind of like tracksuit sets in here because I wear a lot of tracksuits, and I don't have a lot of skirts and dresses. I'm not a very girly girl, so the little small collection that I do have, I just shoved in here on these trouser hangers. So that room that they are in is just opposite the wardrobe room, the walk-in wardrobe. Would you call this a walk-in wardrobe even though there's doors? Is it still a walk-in wardrobe even though you can't just walk in and grab something because you've got to open things? Like, I don't really want to call it a dressing room either because it's purely a room for clothes. Like, I wouldn't even say it's a dressing room. So we're just calling it a wardrobe room, but it sounds a bit daft. Anyway, you're all probably wondering where the hell are our shoes, because you all know we've got a lot of trainers between us. This is a cupboard at the top of our stairs, and my brother kindly made some shelves from scratch, like gappy shelves. I'll put a picture in here of when it was empty, out of, again, I think it was 3x2 timber. So good. Anyway, so yeah, we decided to put all of our shoes in here. So this is how the shelves now look. Really annoying that Charlie's feet are so big, so his sneaks don't fit the same way as mine because two of his don't fit that way, so I've had to put them that way. So that is really, really annoying. But yeah, this is how it's looking. So this is where the majority of our trainers are kept. And then at the bottom here, we've just got 2 plastic boxes because I do have a couple of heels that I own, so they're shoved in there, and my summer sandals. And then we've got like our sliders, Crocs and stuff like that that don't really need to be on a shelf, and these are just so easy to get in and out of. When the door's fully open, you can just slide them in and out on the carpet. Super, super accessible, super practical. And yeah, just having all of our shoes in one place here. Now the top shelf, as you can see, the cupboard's quite big. And just this without shelves in, it was just not making use of the space. I don't know if eventually we're going to need this top shelf also for shoes because this is getting pretty full, but for now it's just got our spare towels and a box of spare bedding on it. But we could always move these into another place in the house eventually if we do feel like we need to move up to the top shelf for extra sneakers. But yeah, he just put a strip of wood against the wall on each side and then rested the strips on top, and then screw them down into it, and it just made the perfect shelf. And then finally, just to round up the video, I'm just going to show you, because you're all probably thinking where's the coats and stuff like that, like the bigger bits of clothes. This is our bedroom, by the way, pretty much done. If you want a full bedroom tour, then let me know, I can give you that too. We have this cupboard built in already. It came as part of the house, so obviously you can see it's that deep, and honestly it's so handy because in here we have popped all of our coats and chunkier bits. So it's got a rail, and it's also got a shelf which for now has just got all of our techie bits on, as has the floor until our study is finished. But it's got all of our coats, jackets, chunkier things, like I said, chunkier leather jackets which I didn't want to put into the wardrobe room. Yeah, it's just great. Like, this is such a good space for like our puffer jackets, just like the things that normally mess up your wardrobes, if that makes sense. And obviously there's a lot of hanging space in here, so if I did have a lot of dresses, I would probably keep dresses in here because it's longer. We will make better use of the top shelf eventually once I like put baskets up there or something. But yeah, this is where all of our coats are, so super handy because these are in our bedroom. We've got some bits in the spare room in one of the guest rooms, and then we've got a whole wardrobe room which is just fab, and then they just sit in there nice and neat, just tucked out of the way. Anyway, that is it. That is the wardrobe tour. That is how we did it. If anybody wants, I think IKEA emailed me like the number to access the design of this wardrobe. So if you have like a similar shaped room or anything and you want me to pop the number in the description box, just ask me down below and then I'll edit it. I really hope this has been helpful, been insightful. Like I said, any questions down below, I will answer whatever I can, and any other specific housey bits, any other tours or anything that you want to see specifically of the house or see how we did things, then let me know that too. But otherwise, I will see you all in Sunday's vlog. Bye.